What's up, orders? It's me, Torque. Today I am going to be doing a tutorial on pivots. It is a pretty common move. You see a lot of people doing them. The concept in itself is fairly easy. So pretty much just going to give an example of what pivots are, talk about how to do them, and then go over a few variations. That's pretty much it. So when I say pivots, when people are talking about pivots, what they mean is moves like this. That's what a pivot is. Pretty much the move is fairly simple. All you're doing is you're keeping one hand stationary and you're moving the other hand, pivoting around it, hence the name. And you can pivot all the way around, you can pivot halfway, you can pivot with the other hand, pretty much wherever you want to. A really good concept to have a firm grasp of when you're talking about pivots is the grid. I'm not sure if there's any videos out there about the grid. I know there's a gloving video by Ice Cream Teddy that talks about the grid. All the grid is, in my opinion, or how I think about it, is it's the three-dimensional space around you in the X, Y, and Z axis. Think about little boxes all around you, like graph paper, but in every direction. And the size of those boxes are pretty much as big as however long your string length is at the time. So if my string's this big, that's how big my boxes are. If my string length is this big, then this is how big my boxes are. And all you're doing with pivoting is you're taking your hand from one corner of a box and moving it to another. Whether that's down to this corner, over to this corner, over to the back to this corner, a different box, over here. Theoretically, you can move diagonally if you wanted to. There's nothing stopping you from pivoting only on these lines. You just get those points down. To make them look clean, you want to keep this hand, or the hand that's not moving, as stationary as possible. The less it moves, the cleaner it looks, and the straighter your lines are, I think, the cleaner it ends up looking. That's pretty much the concept. I'm going to talk about a few variations. If you got what you needed, you can stop watching. There are a few variations that I like, and I'll touch on those right now. A lot of people do their pivots with the orbit spinning, which I enjoy doing, and I think it looks cool. I think a lot of people neglect or ignore pivots when it's not moving. I think it gives it a different effect. I like them. I do them. I don't see many other people doing them, but I think they look pretty cool. Another one. It's not a huge variation per se because it's still on the grid, but I like to go behind my body, behind my head. So I'll pivot, 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 pivot. I think it looks pretty cool. It's a good way to hide your lights. Bring it back out. And then finally, another variation that I do is pivoting on the body. So all that is you can do that with the orbit spinning or not spinning. If you like to stand in your shows, which a lot of people do, you can pivot all the way down. And then finally, something that I think adds a really cool effect to pivots is lights in your hands. I like to wear them, so it gives, it shows the audience your hand that's moving. These are elements, so it's kind of doing the motion reactive stuff. I think that's a cool effect. You can get fancy with that, and you can turn lights on and off, so you can have the light that's moving on and the light that's not moving off, and then you can switch and move that one, switch again, stuff like that. That's pretty much it. So hope you learned something. You know, there's a lot of variations you can do, and a lot of your own spin you can do on it. And stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.